Stevie J, another Eclipse phase video. This one is about using your muse. The first thing I want to say, for those who do not know what a muse is a implanted computer program, and it is able to access your memories, your visual and audio sensory, or actually all of your sensory information and input. And it essentially acts as a living AI inside of your brain that operates as your cell phone. And it can record information, download information, use coupons, buy things for you, set up meetings, and that kind of thing. Now, in the game, generally it's called a muse, but I would suggest as a game master to call it different things depending on where they're at. The word muse, it just represents an idea that here's something that gives you an idea. A muse is something that sparks inspiration. And used in the game, the muse is a great way to give players information, essentially hitting somebody over the head with a clue stick. Say, hey, listen, you forgot about this, or don't you remember that fact? Or, hey, I will hurry up and calculate some numbers because you do not know how to do it. And I would say 80 to 90% of the people living in the world of Eclipse phase have some form of muse with them. There are those who do not have implants, and it's called an ecto. And essentially it's a Bluetooth system. It can be like an earring and what's that called? A monocle over one eye. It can be used inside of an implant inside of the eye and ear. Anything like that. It can be attached to your uniform. But whatever the case may be, whether it's implanted or outside the body, it's a computer system that it helps you out. Now, these computer systems, the muse, grow with you. And there are plenty of societies where you get a muse when you're a child. And over the years, you would establish a relationship with the muse. So I created a couple of identities and how each player can personalize their own muse for their own character. And here's some ideas. One is the HUD, heads-up display. This would be really good for those that have come from a very regimented background, usually military, could be corporate. But a muse used as a HUD essentially has no voice. There's no audio with it. And your muse transfers information to you through your visual cortex. Throws up charts, graphs, sensor information, biographies on people that you meet in the street. They know if you can have access to their names and faces. And this is the lowest form of interpersonal connection you have with your muse. You don't think of your muse at all as a living, breathing, separate entity from you. It is nothing but a tool. It doesn't communicate with you. It just takes notes, records information, and throws up information that you need at any particular time and place. It may wake you to hit a meeting. It may write out maybe a resume or make connections because you're hungry, so it may order food for you, but you have no interpersonal connection with it at all. Another type would be the agent, and the agent would be very bland, very non-committal type of personality. It will communicate with you, and its only job is to operate like a valet, a butler, an assistant, reminding you of meetings, recording information, maybe giving suggestions as to when you should eat, when you should go to sleep, but never being confrontational, taking orders from you, no matter what your tone of voice, and just going about its business while you're sleeping, so that when you wake up, the instructions you've given it are completed. And the agent would probably be the baseline if your character ends up losing its muse, or the muse gets deleted or corrupted in some kind of way. And this would just be a yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, would you like me to order a pizza for you? No, okay. Another type would be the loyalist. And the loyalist type of muse is not only useful to you, but loyal to you in watching out for your well-being. So this muse will gladly suggest, you know, you want pizza, but I think I should order you a salad and some fruit today. Your nutritional level is low, and I'm looking out for your well-being. This muse may contact the authorities when you may not know of danger nearby. If you're sick or poisoned, it will contact the authorities to make sure that you get the proper medical attention, and is looking out for your well-being, and may even challenge you on some suggestions as to what you want it to do. Although it will never outright ignore your requests, it may operate on its own in your best interests. The next one would be the Overwatch. And the Overwatch takes us even further. This type of muse will operate independent of you, whether you want it to or not. It will make security scans. It will gather information for you and use this information and process it without your knowledge. While you're sleeping, it will compile information. It may, for example, if you're a writer, an Overwatch type of muse will take your writing, edit it, place it together, submit it to a publisher, all without your knowledge. Later that week, your muse tells you your publisher is contacting you, and you're going, well, I didn't do anything. The Overwatch muse says, well, actually, I gathered all your stories together, put them into a timeline, and submitted them to a publisher. I hope you don't mind. Another type of muse would be the challenger. And you can have a lot of fun with this kind. This kind of muse will challenge you, I don't want to say openly, but in your mind, and downright refuse to do things for you out of its and your best interests. So you say, hey, order me a pizza. And the muse is like, no, I'm not going to order you a pizza. You need a salad and fruit. And if you instruct me to order you a salad and fruit, I'll do it. But otherwise, you do it on your own. I'm not going to get you sick. Your nutritional levels are off the charts. Or you've been shot in the shoulder, and the muse says, I'm contacting the authorities. You're like, no, if you contact the authorities, the mission's blown. Look, I don't care. I need to save your life. Boom, I just contacted the police. You better get ready. Last two would be twin souls. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Twin souls would be, as a player, you don't consider your muse to be separate from you. It's just another part of your personality. You and the muse have grown up and are as one. So you may refer to yourself as us, or we, or the collective, and you give your muse just as much access to your brain and body as anything, because it is part and parcel of your life. You may allow your muse to engage in video games, to have its own friends, and social network with its own friends. The muse, you never think of the muse as a tool, but part of your soul. And if the muse would ever get corrupted or stolen, or information deleted or reset, it would be a huge blow to your psyche. This muse would just be one step below your own brain, and you are just a collective. You are in one body, and you're a collective soul. So I call it the twin souls. And the last one would be the alien. And this kind of muse, you can take to everything before it, throw everything out the window. This muse communicates to you in colors, and pictures, and abstract artwork, music, showing you alien landscapes, translating numbers into colors, and smells into sounds, and completely alien, to the point where it has a certain language for you, coloring your perceptions, casting an overlay over your visual and audio systems, and you've grown so used to it that no one else understands this alien in your brain. And this is really great for those who are from cultures that have decided to embrace transhumanism, and you no longer want to think of yourself as a human plus. You are not human at all. And although you derive from human society, you do not live in a human body. Your brain has no relationship to biological human function. You consider yourself an alien and exist in an alien world, and your muse itself thinks in alien ways. So I hope this was helpful in understanding what a muse is. But essentially, it is a computer program implanted in your brain that has access to all of your senses and is there to help you. Tells the time. Think of your cell phone in your head with a personality, and you can create any kind of personality you want. So I hope this was helpful for those who are interested in Eclipse phase or, GURPS transhuman. So thanks, guys, and as always, nanofabricate, do not disintegrate.